All right, it is 10 a.m. Thanks everyone for joining us in another long coffee break. I'm your host today, Mike Jacobs, and I'll be introducing my co-host this morning, Glenn Gabbard with Atmosphere. We will be going over advancements in IAQ technology, including bipolarization. So with that, I will let Glenn introduce himself and take it away. And apologies, everyone. We're having a little bit of a technical difficulty. So Glenn, you will not be able to see his pretty mug this morning.
Terrific. Mike, it's my pleasure to join you and talk about the topic. We're going to cover a number of slides quickly, but obviously for any follow-up questions that you have, I'll make sure that I work with Mike to provide any other information that you need. So Mike, if we can move on to the next slide. This gives you some quick background. We're the Clean Air Group and working with Long in Colorado. We have two divisions, Atmosphere Solutions and Bioclimatic, basically offering solutions for any type of indoor air quality issue. Next slide. Little quick history on the two firms. Well over 300 million square feet installed with respect to different ionization solutions. Well over 20, 30 years experience between the two combined divisions. Why is indoor air quality important? Probably don't have to touch on that. Wildfire smoke being one of the most recent ongoing threats that we've got in the Western United States, but obviously a number of other issues. Next slide. We offer, and this is what I'm going to cover, a comprehensive set of air cleaning and monitoring solutions. And I think it's important to understand that we really stress that indoor air quality solutions need to be combined with effective monitoring and measurement, so your clients can really be assured that whatever solution is put in place is working. It can be measured for them. Next slide. Wildfires I touched on. I'm sure you've seen many of the recent studies, but the key things that we have developed various solutions for to deal with not only the toxic gases, but also especially the small particles, 2.5 or less, that can get into the bloodstream and cause all kinds of problems. This slide is one of two just to illustrate the fact that indoor air quality solutions touch a wide range of areas, not just dealing with COVID-19 or any other kind of airborne virus. Next slide. But also a number of specialty indoor air quality issues that you may run across as you're working with your various clients in different industries. Now, next slide. Sorry, Mike. Types of bipolar ionization. I think this is really important. We go to the next slide here. Not all bipolar ionization is the same. So Atmosphere division uses what we call dielectric barrier discharge. And in this case, there's a delivery voltage of 12.6 or more. The reason that's significant is at that voltage, it allows the system to oxidize oxygen. And as a result, we're able to create a so-called super ion. Bottom line, what the super ion does with airborne viruses is it is able to attack the molecule that carries the virus, puncture it, and pull the hydrogen out, rendering it harmless. So we tell clients, if they're trying to solve for airborne viruses, COVID-19, et cetera, the gold standard, in our opinion, would be the dielectric barrier discharge technology. On the other hand, in our bioclimatic division, there is a corona discharge or needle point system that is used. And this is rows of nickel-coated steel pins, two pins typically in a recessed and electronic module. Positive and negative charges are released. And again, a great application. With any ionization system, you're looking, as you know, for three things. You're looking for sanitization in terms of airborne viruses, agglomeration of particles, either so they are picked up more efficiently by the filters or drop to the floor and go out with housekeeping. And then also removal of gases, the TVOCs. Those are the three things. Both systems are able to do that. The difference is just what the client is trying to solve for. Ozone is something that is always a concern when you're talking about ionization, which is why it's very important to know that both our needlepoint and our direct dielectric barrier ionization system have the UL 2998 standard and the 867 standard.
Hey, Glenn, I'm going to stop you real quick. What slide are you
Yes.
on?
I'm on my bad. I'm on Atmos Air, ActiveOx, testing and validation.
Do you have a number? Apologize, everyone.
It's right after the not all bipolar ionization is the same.
Gotcha.
The next one, and I'm sorry for that. Now let's go, now that you're on that slide, you can see that, and again, there's no ozone issue. Next slide. Very important slide. Recently, in my backyard, I'm Northern California based. The ASHRAE chapter in San Joaquin did the first ASHRAE funded study on bipolar ionization involving both needlepoint and the Atmos Air dielectric barrier discharge system. There were two key results because they were testing in a wildfire smoke environment for this study. One, that the air treatment with DBD and needlepoint combined with a filter delivered an overall better performance in reducing VOCs, formaldehyde, and PM 2.5, those small particles, than UVC plus a filter or a filter alone. The second conclusion was that dielectric barrier discharge, as with the Atmos Air ionization system, plus MERV 13 filter, delivered HEPA performance, capturing particles as small as viral-sized particles. So there is going to be a second study relative to airborne viruses that Fresno State is going to do. But again, we can get you the results of this study. Wanted to make sure that you were aware of it. This gives you an idea in terms of any potential project for the two types of bipolar ionization technologies available. The Atmos Air technology is a tube-based technology. It is a plasma delivery system. It alternates the positive and the negative ions. The average ion life is up to 5 minutes in this delivery system. The bioclimatic, you can see an example, one of three ways that that needlepoint system is mounted. It delivers positive and negative ions, especially effective in smaller areas. And also we have done a number of projects where we've done a hybrid proposal where we've actually combined the two technologies depending upon the specifics of the indoor space. Also, we offer three different types of portables. What's pictured here, I'm sorry, next slide, Mike, next slide. Well, look, if you're looking at the RIA is an example of one of three portables that we have to deliver bipolar ionization. And also all of these can be mounted on a wall depending upon the particular application. Next slide. Next slide, under Clean Air Group Monitoring Solutions. When we go to the first slide there, this shows the Clean Air Group Monitoring Solutions, not only for ActiveOx, but also for Atmos Air, ActiveOx being the name of the needlepoint product that we have. You can see that we have a wall-based unit, two different versions of it, Atmos Aware and an Atmos Aware Mini. We go to the next slide. You can see the kind of monitoring. This can be used, installed wired or wireless. It can be also used as a standalone unit if you want to do spot checks. You can see the measurements: carbon dioxide, particulate matter, TVOs, temperature, relative humidity, back net compatible, And also there is a overall indoor air quality index. If a client wants to kind of test drive it for a while, there's also the lock. We can put a plate on the front so that the information is only seen by the people that want to see it. There's all kinds of reporting that can be delivered with this as well. Next slide. The Atmos Aware Mini does not have the display. You can see here the additional information that's covered on the Mini. Next slide. This is, we also have a very robust IoT platform that combines the following bullet points that you can see there, and also as we move forward allows for remote programming. Next slide. Our Atmos Smart Sensor is a sensor that actually is an in-duct sensor that goes into, whereas our installation that we have with both of our ionization systems is in the supply duct behind the final filter for both types of ionization. This system goes into the return duct, and you can see continuously and actively measures 10 parameters of indoor air quality. Wireless communication, no Wi-Fi or Ethernet connectivity required, and also can control up to 8 Atmos Air ionization systems based upon the indoor air quality monitoring. So in other words, on the 24/7 monitoring, this system can be connected to the building management system and adjust the ionization levels up or down based upon the actual indoor air quality of the building. Next slide. Just some other points relative to the Atmos Smart System, reset certified. You can see some of the other key points there. So the point being that we offer several different varieties of monitoring and measurement along with reporting for any client that wants to know how a solution is really dealing with their building's indoor air quality. Next slide. This now moves us into the applied engineering products through our bioclimatic division. Next slide. So there are a wide range of solutions that are available. We've talked about the bipolar ionization. Now I want to cover several other things, including the Biotronic electric filters, the compact sealing units, and also custom air handling and side access housing to deal with different indoor air quality issues. Next slide. The bioclimatic polarized electronic filtration or the Biotronic filter. You can see it's available in several standard filter sizes. It can be custom fit, very low static pressure drop, low maintenance, lower total cost of ownership. Basically, this is used for clients that have a number of filter changes that they have during the year. This is a filter that is very efficient. When this filter is installed, typically what we say to an engineering firm is you can either double or triple, depending upon the indoor air quality load, the frequency of your filter changes with this electronic filter. Next slide. I simply show this to illustrate that this filter can also be custom applied to any projects that have VRF applications as well. Next slide. The MC Series sealing unit. This is a unit that is 100% recirculating air. You can see the CFM range. You can also see that we can incorporate bipolar ionization, UV, HEPA filters. You can see some of the key spot check treatments that we can deal with in terms of odors, particles, mold, bacteria. This is a unit that can be operated very efficiently in a portion of a building to deal with a particular problem. Next slide. Chemical media, gold standard for removal of gaseous pollutants and really more demanding air purification systems like we talked about going a few slides back. The key point that I want to make here is bioclimatic does not simply put charcoal in a filter. They have all sorts of very specific customized solutions based upon the odor, the gas phase, contaminants, the intake pollutants that a particular client is dealing with. Very high one-pass efficiency. As you can see, over 99% effectiveness if designed accordingly. Next slide. Chemical media examples would be, of course, you can see there food orders, laser, smoking, etc. We're starting to do a lot of work with cannabis grow rooms as they increase around the country as well. Next slide. This slide is to illustrate the last, but one of the more significant, again, value adds from the bioclimatic division, and that is their ability to be able to take existing air handlers in the building and put together a custom kit to solve various indoor air quality issues that you may be dealing with. And so we want to make you aware of that. There's a number of applications, and again, any interest in a particular project, Mike and I can get you background information there. Next slide. This gives you just a quick idea. We're very active in all the markets that you may work with your clients, and these are some of the representative clients that we work with. Next slide. This also just gives you a couple of quick examples. Seattle Children's Hospital, Gensler, a number of cruise ships, over 40 buildings for Bloomberg. We're very active in all the various markets with our ionization, our other indoor air quality solutions. Next slide. And that brings us to the end. Mike, I'll turn things back over to you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Glenn. Again, if you had any additional questions, please reach out to your long sales engineer. Again, I appreciate everybody joining us. Please stay tuned for next week with Josh Likes and John Rezanin with Valent on building a better DOAS unit. Thanks everybody again, and hope you enjoyed it.